Well, I think the key operative word is need. All right. No, we do not need Canada. Well, I think the key operative word is need. All right. No, we do not need Canada.
Yeah.
Well, here we are, episode 5.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome.
Welcome.
We're going to be talking Canada and Greenland this weekend.
Ooh,
Yep, spooky stuff.
And socialists to the north.
Oh, how terrible. Hi, Mugger. Hi, everyone. Mystery Slab Sit Theater. Hey, Swine is here, too. Well, Kelly, there are certain people that are convinced that we absolutely have to have Greenland. We're going to talk about that a little bit. But anyway, how was your week, Spider Dog? Our beautiful Canadian, the glue that holds me together here on this channel.
It was pretty good. It was wild. It was wild. Yeah, just I'm learning the whole diabetic menu type thing. Not for me, not for my lovely wife, but for my brother. He's type 2 diabetes now, so we're having to do some life changing, let's say. But I mean, we're doing good. We're gonna get through it. It's work, but
he hasn't had this world-ending meltdown yet.
No, not yet. But he's doing good. He's taking the changes with stride so far.
Wonderful.
How about you?
It's been something. It's been, yeah. About all I've done really of any excitement, which will bore the crap out of everyone else, is hi, Oshin. We made the trip to Yuma to go to Sam's Club. Not very impressed, but I sent it to Jeff. I don't know if he's gonna show it or not. But I was wearing my Hill Pirate shirt.
Oh yeah, right.
And we just happened to be next to the gigantic. Oh, hey, Woodrow.
Woodrow.
We had my husband and I were next to the big barrels of cheesy poofs. So
yeah.
I had him take a picture of me. Hey, Megan. I had him take a picture of me next to it. I don't know if he'll show it or not, but I sent it to him. So that Hill Pirate was next to the cheesy poops.
Yeah, totally.
We could show Todd some love.
Yeah.
Honey, are you logged into chat? No. Oh. He is hiding. So we got Megan is in representing the south of the equator. And STDs.
Howdy y'all. Hey.
So anyway, no, do not jail Terrence and Phillip. I love them. Yeah, exactly. I don't know it to the extent that Spider Dog is doing for his brother, but I did take care of my dad for 11 months before he passed away.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Ocean. It's work, I mean, we do what you do. You do what you got to do. Family, right? So, yeah,
absolutely. My family was not very close, so I don't have the strong blood relations that a lot of other people do.
Yeah, well, my family doesn't really either, but like my brother and I take care of my brother because he needs it. But the rest of my family can mostly go F themselves, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. I have a minuscule part-time relationship with my brother.
Mhm.
And hey, no be picking on Brian Boitano. um yeah, it's not easy because you are watching someone you love in
Mhm.
crisis, and
Yeah.
it's you know and what a lot of people don't understand, while you are a caregiver, you also need care.
Yeah, that was the thing that really messed me up is I would do everything. I do everything for my brother that he needs. But I very much started to neglect myself over time. And it's a lesson you kind of maybe have to learn the hard way. I learned it the hard way. So, but yeah, you have to balance your caregiving and make sure you're not neglecting yourself. And it can become pretty stressful over time.
Yeah, I started to have a hard time when I was taking care of my dad, because
Mhm.
I actually wasn't watching him deteriorate. It it was 50-50 because I had changed so much of his
He was getting a bit
dietary-wise.
better.
The
Yeah.
rest of his body was getting better while he was on chemotherapy battling cancer.
Mhm. Yeah.
So,
Rough.
the the only thing that I can say with certainty and that I am proud of is my dad got to die an old man.
Mhm. Mhm.
Cancer did not take him out. I
Yeah.
was very angry that they had to put that on the death certificate.
Oh, right.
And
Yeah.
even the nurse, the palliative care nurse, she didn't like even putting it on because all of him was functioning
Mhm.
in the moment that he died. Uh uh-oh. I hear music.
Yeah.
Is that you?
Yeah. Sorry, that was me. My bad.
Um all he did not have organ failure or anything like that. We literally watched him fall asleep and die.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so she said, I have to put this down, but you and I know better. And that was, you know, pretty much it. But that I'm happy that I was able to facilitate that for my dad.
Mhm.
But yeah, see, you waited 2 years. I knew I was getting in trouble or that I needed help, and I was begging for assistance in some way. I didn't know that there were caregiver organizations or anything like that at the time. I do now.
Yeah.
Um and I was begging and pleading, and finally one of the visiting nurses got mad and she goes, I'm gonna call a caseworker. You guys need to be evaluated.
Mhm.
And I didn't know that they weren't supposed to treat you like that.
Yeah.
But
Really.
I
Seriously.
I did have enough behind me, having had to advocate to get things for myself, that I wasn't going to take it.
Yeah.
And I did send a very terse letter to their organization, telling them this nurse needs to be retrained.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, and what it was, my biggest complaint was they didn't know how to deal with me in the throes of a PTSD event because of the stress of watching my dad die.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so they looked at it as I was possibly being abusive to my dad, which was nowhere near the case.
Mhm. Mhm.
I was begging them for help. But uh I said, you guys need to, learn more about PTSD from the caregiver side, not just from the person who's being taken care of.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And speaking of poor caregivers, let's talk about the 51st state, Canada.
Yeah. Say
And
that again. I dare you. Say it again.
yeah. So recent events have been coming out, more threats of tariffs. I hope you guys understand that when this country threatens tariffs, while they may get some kind of financial concession from the other country isn't paying for it. We end up paying for it.
Yeah, it hurts
So
the people.
let's just make that clear. When tariffs are talked about and tariffs become a reality, our prices go up. The companies are not going to pay for it. We end up paying for it. Oh, Sheen, you have no idea. You have no idea. We've
Well,
that's
might
a
be
great
trying.
that's a great intro into our trying to steal Canada has been going on since the American Revolution. How about that? We'll start there. Red green. That would be awesome. The Possum Lodge. Absolutely. Let's start with during the American Revolution, the colonists were so incensed that the British had such a stronghold up north of the big gigantic river, the seaway, all that water.
Yeah.
That they decided to group together and invade Canada and lost their ass. Yep, and then tried to do it again in 1812. Spider Dog has a lovely monument to the War of 1812. Triumph through diversity. Yeah. Unlike here, your 12-pack of beer went up $4 this week. Oh, come on, Mystery Science Theater. You know what that's from. Oh, it's Angry Vet. Hey. That's because we're in the peak of snowbird season right now. There it is. Triumph through diversity. And unlike people who don't know, Toronto is not the capital of Canada. Ottawa is, where this beautiful statue is, showing the diversity of the people who grouped together to defend their land from the colonists of the United States. Before it was the United States even. Yeah, Oshin, you're not the only one, and I'm definitely going to get into that. Boy, am I going to get into that. That's why we got the part of that thumbnail is the Greenland with the for sale sign on it. I got a lot to say about that. So anyway, but what I wanted to start with is we've got a long history of thumbing our nose at Canada since before it was Canada. Like I said, starting with the American Revolution of all things. And it's been going on for a long time. Let me get over here to I have notes. And just a little brief discussion about it. The only reason really that we're close is because we happen to be very close neighbors.
Yeah, we share the same continent. Yeah.
Share the same continent. Just because we have usurped the nickname of Americans doesn't mean that Canadians are not Americans as well.
Yeah,
They're
it's such
from
a
North
weird
America
thing.
too.
It's such a weird thing. I've always wondered about all that. Like it's North America, South America, United States, Canada,
Central
and then,
America.
Yeah, right. And then it's just that the word has become synonymous with
US.
the United. Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah,
Bizarre.
and it's yeah. But we share the world's longest border,
Yeah.
which is mostly undefended because through trade agreements, treaties, and other things, we've been mostly civil to each other. Our militaries work hand in hand for the most part since after Vietnam.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the Aerospace Defense Command, NORAD, is a
Yeah.
joint venture between the US and Canada.
Mm-hmm.
We have the largest trading relationship of any two nations in the world. Our electrical grids are so tied that when something gets screwed up, both of our nations, some parts going out.
Yeah.
But since Velveeta Voldemort decided to pick on Canada a little bit and misrepresent the tariffs, there's a lot of love lost between our two countries, and I wanted to specifically be one to say that at least here, oh, my husband popped in, yay!
Yep. Yeah. The squid's in.
I wanted to say that at least in this house, we're with you, Canada. We're with you, Greenland.
Yeah, and I'll throw it out there. I think I said it in another episode, but like, you know, we don't hate. I mean, most of us don't hate Americans or anything like that. It's clearly your government that's being dumb, to put it
Yeah.
lightly. And so I mean, we're all in this garbage together in our own way, but I wish it was different, but it's not. And at the moment we've got to go our own way. We've got to break up a little bit, and it's a little bit sad, but it is what it is.
When you're in an abusive relationship, either the abuser gets help or you got to break up.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we are so intertwined that it's not an easy breakup, and I hope we don't, because again, at least citizen wise, we don't have a problem. It's world leaders that start wars and cause trouble, not the citizens. And so I just Greenland means fighting NATO, just as Putin wanted. Well, you know what?
A possibility, but yeah.
I get really irritated with the Putin and the Russia and China thing. To me, they're distractions. Don't get me wrong. They both have militaries. They could put the serious hurt on if they really put the effort to do so.
Yeah.
I'm not saying we wouldn't triumph over them, but I don't like that the left uses Russia for a distraction and the right uses China for a distraction.
Yeah.
Because then what are they doing while we're distracted and fighting amongst ourselves? They're robbing the coffers. They're creating more excuses to have proxy wars.
Yeah, and I guess unfortunate for you guys at the moment, Canada is taking its own steps, and I'm sure a lot of you have probably heard, but we've just made some pretty big deals with China because we have to. We need options because the options aren't there with you guys anymore. So, yeah, that's when you play these sort of games, you can push your allies in a direction that you don't necessarily want them to be going, but they have no choice, right?
Yeah. And O'Sheen mentioned Smedley Butler. I would have to say very, very fine man.
Yeah, great book.
Great Marine. Um, I just had to throw that kit. Oh, Tree, hi. Tree made it. Tree came over from Harley Dad's.
Oh, cool.
I don't remember where Tree is. But yeah. Well, and we get stuck in these extremes as well as hating, each other because of extreme accusations, and then we're left, the huge amount of contempt that I heard in the voices of a lot of Canadians that I spoke with on live streams and stuff. That was a tough go there for a while, and sometimes I had to say, hey, listen, I'm not your enemy. My rotten president is. You can go ahead and hate him all you want, but don't hate me, because my problem, you are not my problem. I'm not your problem. This ass, but well, you guys elected him. He's my president, but I did not vote for him. I did not vote at all.
Yeah.
Because there was nobody worth voting for. So yeah, we have forced Canada into boycotting American goods, which has really hit the Kentucky bourbon industry very hard.
Yep.
We mock Canada for their drinking abilities, and I always, whenever I was in Canada, got a kick out of when I saw the beer store.
Yeah.
I thought it was funny.
That's Ontario.
Well, yeah. And
I just wanted to say Canada Maple Leaf said they're from Calgary.
Calgary.
I'm from Calgary as well. So howdy ho. We just had our water restrictions lifted again. So
wow, now see, look at that. You guys have water restrictions too. And
well, we had a pipeline break, so that's why.
That is something so Southwest desert where I am at in Arizona, because we've drained off so much of the Colorado River. Now that one I don't know yet. Oh, Terry Crews, somebody's been watching a certain movie.
This is true.
Idiocracy.
What Ocean says here is true. We have just vast forest of older trees, and they're better for housing. And so that's one of the reasons why, we've always been good partners and neighbors and whatnot. Is, stuff like that.
Well, one of the things that is, it's a saying in Indian country, when it comes to natural resources. There's a big thing about lumber, timber, forestry. It's a renewable resource. Well, the problem is we use it so quickly, we're not allowing it to renew like it used to.
Yeah.
So our lumber, our forestry plans here go for a 30 to 40 year growth period.
Yeah.
When the colonists were coming here, and trees that were tens of thousands of years old, they were taking.
Yeah, very old. Yeah.
So to make that claim is kind of a half-assed claim. Yeah, it's renewable, but you're not renewing the forest. You're only renewing the resource of the tree.
Yeah, and things like climate change. So like a lot of people may not know, some people probably do, but in British Columbia, where a lot of the trees come from that the US gets, because of climate change, it doesn't get as cold as it used to in the more southern parts of the forest. And we have a pine beetle up here. You might have heard of it. And it used to get sort of controlled by the extreme cold that would come in the winter. But now that it's not getting as cold, the pine beetles are spreading further and further north, and they're getting into more and more trees. So when you drive the Okanagan Highway, like if you're driving from, Alberta to Vancouver, going through the mountains and, through all the beautiful sort of forest and whatnot, you hit areas where you just see these red trees that go for as far as the eye could see, and they're like a rust color tree, and they're basically dead trees because the pine beetles have killed them, and that's all happening because of climate change. So when I hear people say, "Oh, climate change, whatever, it's not happening," or whatever they say, it's like, well, okay, but I'm watching forests that have been there for centuries and centuries and centuries just die because
Die.
because the temperatures have gone up just a little bit, and these beetles can take them over. And once the beetles take over these trees, they become useless for the wood becomes useless for building because there's like knots and all kinds of things that they do. It weakens the wood. So,
well, you leave it to the U.S. to figure out a way to use that, because now pine beetle kill wood being used as oh gosh, wall covering. In say like houses that want that are using it for like a ceiling. The discoloration in the wood is now worth something.
Yeah, it totally, like, it's nice if you want that look and stuff, but not everybody does. And how much
Right.
can you
But
actually
they charge more for it.
Yeah, oh, for sure, because you
know,
want that look. Yeah.
STD brought up a good one, and that's hemp.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Hemp is making a resurgence now, but
Mhm.
originally the only way we could get hemp, because it was outlawed here, was for a Canadian product, and that makes paper, clothing,
Oh, everything pretty much.
hemp is amazing. And now hopefully with the changes, and hemp is not marijuana, so let's make that abundantly clear. It was stupid that we tied the two together. But leave it to the US. If it's something we can't make money on, they'll figure out a way to outlaw it so we can only buy the stuff that they can profit from.
Well, they could have made money on it, but the cotton industry and stuff like that wanted to do their thing, right? So
that's what I mean.
And the leaders that were decided that that's where they wanted to put their money as well. So that's the way it went.
Yeah, exactly. And now the forests now are so dry.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I can't. Besides the fact that the Pacific Northwest is expensive, I also cannot move back there because of the forest fires every summer. I used to be a snowbird, and the summers I would go back up to Washington State. Well, I can't do that anymore because the fires are so prevalent now that even in the Puget Sound area, especially in the Puget Sound area, I can't breathe.
Yeah, it gets bad here too. Really bad.
So I stay down here, and Arizona, the desert Southwest in general, is not without its brand of wildfires. So we can't get away with it or get away from it, and it's a huge nightmare that this country is so trained to the consumer, right?
Yeah.
Don't mistake it. Us as regular people, we're not the capitalists. The capitalists are the people that we buy from. We're the consumer. Save those snails. Yeah, George Carlin, I loved it. Yeah, I would love to ban lobbyists from Washington. But yeah, so our abuse of Canada, as long as Canada is providing for us at a price, and by us I mean our government, and at a price that is acceptable, then we've got no problem bleeding Canada of its resources, same as any other country.
Mm-hmm.
So now that Canada has decided that this abusive relationship has been a little abusive for too long, they've been stepping out. I'm gonna close a couple windows here.
We're taking some of our toys and going home.
Going home. Yeah, exactly. Also, one thing that most people in the U.S. don't know or are not aware of is just the idea of Canada itself was forged because of the hostilities between the colonists and Britain.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I'm going to call them briefly American troops at the moment, went to Canada, especially during the War of 1812, and thought, oh yeah, these people, they're going to be so happy that we liberated them.
Mm-hmm.
And instead, the British and the Canadian troops said, go screw yourself, and chased us back. So the War of 1812 really contributed to the country that is now Canada having this sense of self and independence.
Yeah, solidifying.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to be really a selfish U.S. First person, that you can say Canada owes a debt of gratitude for us trying to invade it and it becoming a country, because that is how this country would spin it.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny, we were talking earlier, and just the difference in views of, like, you guys, you see the War of 1812 the way you do, and it was your fight for sort of independence, and you got it. You were able to establish the borders that you were able to establish, and that became your country. And from our view up here, being, Canada was born from the empire. Like, it was a slow separation from the British Empire. So we still have our ties to the British Empire in that sort of historical way. And for us, I mean, we look at what you got versus what we retained. And
Right.
we don't feel so bad about it. Like,
No, especially when
the British
it comes
Empire.
to...
Sorry,
Go
I was
ahead.
just gonna say, the British Empire was like, they had just finished going through wars in Europe, and they didn't really have the resources and the time to create a full-on fight in the New World against colonists that were uprising in the South, right? So, they tried, they did what they did. Obviously, the War of 1812 happened. You guys, kicked some of our ass and the whole thing, and you retained the borders that you retained. But at the end of the day, like I said, I think the British Empire was okay with what it retained.
Well, and here with that, after the Civil War,
Partially,
so
the French were
some
involved. Sorry,
yeah,
I was.
but some Republicans here were demanding that Britain cede all of Canada as reparations for supporting the Confederacy. So
Yeah.
guess what the people up north did? They turned right around 55 years later, out of fear that there was going to be another invasion, and created the Dominion of Canada. And to really thumb it in our noses, they did it on July 1st,
Yeah.
which is Canada Day.
Yep.
And that was the colonies, the United Colonies of Canada, New Brunswick, and Nova Scotia got together, did the big flip off the bird to you down in the South, and we're going to have our celebration 3 days before yours.
Yeah.
So, and that was the beginning of Canada as a modern nation. And yeah. And now don't think that because they signed that beautiful document and everything was going hunky dory. Because there's still been disagreements. There was great cooperation during World War II. And the threat, I don't know, anybody who knows the Soviet Union's military and their history of how well they build things should know that it's not as much of a threat as people paint it to be.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
I'm not saying they won't put the hurt on, but
yeah,
look at the Kursk. Come on, the poor submarine that was supposed to be their big. This is our big modern advanced naval weapon, and it didn't last very long.
Mm-hmm.
But Canada's also been in disagreement, like the Vietnam War.
Yep.
It estimated 30,000 U.S. citizens fled to Canada to avoid the draft. One of my uncles being one of them. And he spent 12 lovely years in Canada, working in Canada. So he was getting a little bit of retirement income from Canada as well as down here. Thankfully, they also didn't want anything to do with the invasion of Iraq.
Yeah, that was a pretty defining moment. I was proud of Canada. Jean Chrétien was our prime minister at the time, and I think it was the right thing to do. So that's my position.
Good. I'm glad you said that because I couldn't pronounce his name. I know zero French, but I will say I can pronounce this one. Former Prime Minister Pierre Trudeau, Daddy Trudeau, famously made this statement comparing the U.S. and Canada. He said, no matter how friendly and even-tempered the beast, one is affected by every twitch and grunt. And he was comparing it to a mouse sitting next to a sleeping elephant.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it's true. And especially with the weak, self-serving leadership that we have right now.
What's that?
I said, especially with the weak, self-serving leadership we have right now.
Oh, right. Yeah. Yeah.
No self-esteem there.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Canada has to deal with. This, how do we? Canada for so long has done similar to when you're dealing with an abusive spouse, trying to be nice and placate the spouse to make things easier.
Mm-hmm.
And now it is becoming quite obvious that you cannot continue a relationship with an abusive anything.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people have heard, the stories about, it's sort of like a joke, but it's kind of true, like stereotype wise or whatever, that, Canadians are, we're really pleasant. We'll be nice, we're the whole thing. But I mean, you can only push a Canadian so far until they've had enough. And I think that's where we're at right now. We're just, we've played ball. We've followed you guys, on the tracks that you wanted to go on, and it served us when it served us, and it's just not doing that now. And I mean, I think if Trump hadn't been elected, we wouldn't be seeing what's happening happen. So,
well, it's kind of like the straw that broke the camel's back.
Yeah.
And now you guys are standing up for yourselves, and also It kind of reminds me of this line. This is funny. A British movie that is actually a worldwide loved Christmas movie now called Love Actually.
Yep.
And in that movie, Hugh Grant plays the prime minister. And he's just met with Billy Bob Thornton, whose character is the U.S. president. And Billy Bob Thornton very quickly proves that he's a jackass. And so then when Hugh Grant comes back out and they're doing the presser after talking, he stands up to the U.S. and he says, we may be a small country, but we're a great country too. And that reminds me of Canada's position right now.
Yeah.
You know, the U.S. is not, you know, I can't say that the U.S. is a great country in the example of diplomacy and things like that. I wish we were. We have a terrible foreign diplomatic relations. We have terrible foreign policy. We have no domestic policy. Unless, of course, you're talking about the oligarchs who we support fully while having been conditioned and propagandized that taking care of your fellow citizen, oh, that's weak.
Yeah.
They're being selfish, or they don't deserve it for some reason. You know, but rich people, oh yeah, cool, they're rich. You know what? I am totally fine with people becoming rich. You know, if they worked hard and did it honestly, I got no problem with that. What I do have a problem with is protecting these rich people over the citizens. And the rich people here have purposely bought and usurped our government in order to protect themselves and keep the rest of us out.
Yeah, it tends to be the way it goes, especially in like the, you know, the end games of like empires, or in this case, say late stage capitalism, which I believe is happening. So, yeah, the wealthy are going to they're going to band together to make sure they stay wealthy.
Mystery Subset Theater's right. Joe Biden was the last. He brings up a good point. Joe Biden being the last Republican president.
Yeah,
See, to me,
it's funny.
there is no Republican or Democrat anymore. They're all the same.
Pretty much.
The difference is in name and the kind of language that they use.
Yeah, and they have a few different donors that are different, but beyond that, they all have the same corporate donors, and like, you know, they're the same thing.
There's a guy that I camp with. He's used to. They're in a resort now. And he's a retired lawyer, and his family is very close with the Pelosi's. And he won't talk politics around me because I love to talk about everything wrong that Pelosi has done.
Yeah.
And he can't stand it. And I just said to him, I said, I know that you won't do this because you don't ever want to be proven wrong. But look at her voting record. Because especially during Trump's first stint as president, she is out there talking about how he's, you know, he might need mental help and all this kind of stuff, and talking about how dangerous he could be, and pulling that stunt where they all got on their knees praying and all this kind of crap.
Yeah.
But you look at her voting record, and what did she do? What did most of the Democrats do? They gave the Republicans what they wanted.
Yeah.
And then turned around and when Wolf Blitzer challenged her on an interview on CNN, she's going, "We are feeding the people." This during COVID. And on the very day she said that, the other news outlets were talking about the 5-mile long food lines in Texas because people couldn't get food.
Yeah.
They had no money. So they passed laws. You couldn't be kicked out of your house, and your utilities can't be shut off. So there was that, but you also couldn't do anything else. And now, here we go. Canada bad.
Yeah.
Canada bad. Something else we've tried to screw Canada on is their dairy. And I don't see why, because we are so overstuffed with our own milk cows. Why do we need Canada's milk cows too? You know, for some reason, Canada's dairy production is a little bit different from ours. Canada does things that is a little more balanced, so that they can keep prices stable, and the farmers are guaranteed a more steady income. That doesn't happen here. And so Canada sets quotas, and Trump doesn't like that.
Yeah.
Because Canada is more protective of their dairy farmers than we are. So when they started the renegotiation of NAFTA, the North American Free Trade Agreement, Trump was very irritated with the dairy part of it.
Yeah.
Now Canada
He believes the U.S. should have more access to the market.
Canada pointed out that the U.S. heavily subsidizes its dairy industry.
Yeah.
But when it came to the Trans-Pacific Trade Partnership, when they were discussing that, one of the first things Trump did was pull out of the negotiations, pulled out of the agreement. And that started the souring of Canadians' view of the United States, especially Trump. The U.S. recently, the Border Patrol has been boarding Canadian fishing boats.
Yeah, yeah. There's been a bunch of stuff like that going on in the Great Lakes.
New Brunswick.
Yeah, and out there, but there's been some stuff like in the Great Lakes, like Lake Michigan or whatever it is, like where, we share water, where people have been, just regular people have been fishing, just people, like an individual, and like they're getting pulled up on by like U.S. patrol boats and stuff, and it's like, what is going on? But yeah, you're right, like out ocean wide and stuff like that, it's happening as well. It's like
when I was a kid. Now this was my first recollection as far as the US kind of screwing over Canada. And that was with the metric system back in the 70s. We had an agreement with Canada just to standardize units of measurement to make things easier on trade between the two countries, that we were going to convert to the metric system. Well, the thing was, Canada had already kind of been starting it in 1970. And in negotiations with the U.S. decided, well, okay, we're going to do the same. And then they passed the Metric Conversion Act of 1975. But what they didn't add to that act was they made it voluntary. They didn't make it an actual law.
Yeah.
So because the public was like, nah, we want to stay with this, which is kind of, it's not exactly accurate, but we're going to stay with the imperial system. That's the ugly nickname for it. And Canada was left holding the bag on that. They'd already, and the U.S. decided, it's too expensive to go through and change everything and train everybody and treat teachers, even though teaching the metric system had already been made a part of our schools. So now here we are, and I know I've brought this up before, with Canada being mostly metric system. That's GS is faking. You know what? I'm not going to say that GS is gay, because to me that's insulting gay people.
Yeah, seriously.
I can't. I just can't do it. So yeah, that was my first thing of why did we do that when we agreed to do that with Canada?
Yeah. It basically corporations didn't, like you said, corporations didn't want to have to spend the money to convert, and
which is dumb, because look at the auto industry.
Yeah.
It's half imperial, half metric.
Mm-hmm.
Duh. So, here, comes June 2020, and NAFTA is now terminated, and Trump got his United States, Mexico, Canada agreement in June of 2020, which changed a lot of things. And of course, Canada increased its access to its protected dairy market.
Mm-hmm.
Made 3.6% of the market tariff free. Just to appease the potato head.
We try.
Yeah, it expires in 2036. Unless I don't know, Canada or Mexico decides to pull a Trump and go, we're pulling out of it. Which, yeah. I want to bring up another thing, and this is one of the some of the things I love watching on YouTube are plane crash stuff like Mayday, which is a fine Canadian product.
Okay.
And it's still being produced in Canada. They're just not showing it down here.
Okay.
The Polar Sea. This was in 1985. It was a U.S. Coast Guard icebreaker that was going through the Northwest Passage. If I remember right, it got stuck.
Yeah.
And the thing is, the Northwest Passage Canada's always had a claim on it as an internal part of their waters, but we seem to violate that all the time.
Yeah, there was a violation in the 50s, I believe, after World War II. And there was the 80s one instance. And every time, we file a complaint and the U.S. says, oh, yeah, well, we're sorry, but what are you going to do about it, right? And it's partially our fault in the sense that we haven't really, up until now, but we haven't really had a strong presence there to be able to enforce those waters. But I didn't mean to interrupt you, but that's changing now, so I'll let you continue.
I gotta bring this up. I do. Did you get a good screenshot of that particular
individual
town in Alberta that I wanted to bring up?
Oh, the town. Yes. Yeah, I did. I can show you the website,
I gotta do this love. I have to show this love.
1 second.
Why would you hate a country that is such a Star Trek fan? You cannot.
1 second.
Which, by the way, the original Captain Kirk was Canadian. Jim Carrey, Canadian. Dan Aykroyd, Canadian. Dun, 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 dun. There it is, the town of Vulcan, Alberta. Woo-hoo! They have totally gone in on the Star Trek theme.
Yeah, you can see the little logo there.
That's right. Doohan, Patrick Doohan.
Yeah.
He was Canadian. I went with Vulcan. I am not a big Trekkie, but I mean, come on, Leonard Nimoy went there before he died.
Yeah. They there's no picture right here, but they have a big there's a big like Starship Enterprise there that you can go take your picture around and stuff like that.
Yeah, I forgot to pull that one up too. I saw that. It's quite impressive.
Mhm.
Yes, John Candy was a Canadian.
Yes, he was.
Yeah, you were. Hey, if you held on to your dually and did not let somebody bully, allow someone to bully into giving up one or the other, it counts. So yeah, I just had to mention the town of Vulcan.
Yeah, it's a nice. I mean, not all the people there are bad, but it's not that people are bad there. It's just it's very rural here, and some people there kind of are stuck in another time.
Yeah. So speaking of the Northwest Passage, it's getting a little bit bigger.
It is, yeah, because of that thing again, that nasty climate change that doesn't exist, right?
Yeah. No, we are not claiming Justin Bieber. Canada can have him back.
Oh, damn
it. Let's talk about that new piece of real estate that Trump keeps trying to put on the market, Greenland.
Yeah.
I have a little bit yeah. I'm not real happy with the thing with Greenland. And the reason why is Keanu Reeves as well. 90% of the people in Greenland are Inuit. They're indigenous. And this country has a horrible, horrible policy when it comes to indigenous people. And I'm just going to briefly mention this clown face. Where did I put it? Here it is. Former U.S. National Security Council official Alex B. Alexander. Can you bring his mugshot up, please?
Yep.
Nope, not Ted Cruz. I would, you know what? I would not punish Canada by sending him back. We don't want to keep him, but I wouldn't punish Canada by sending him back. Yeah, Elon Musk comes from South Africa, but he also holds Canadian and U.S. citizenship. He is a citizen of 3 different countries. Okay, this clown face. His name is Alexander B. Gray. You're going to see a lot of him. When it comes to these negotiations with as far as Greenland goes, he is very much stuck in this very deeply as one of Trump's advisors. He was in an interview with 60 Minutes Australia last year. And he said this, and this pretty much sums up everything. He said, they're going to need, this about Greenland, the people of Greenland, they're going to need a partner, whether it's the United States or someone else, to help them grow and develop and tap their natural resources. Okay. Trump is all about, it's for national security, we've already got a base there. We have a space base there. It has been a landing zone whenever there was a threat of, because, Russia will bring its subs around and start, playing up north. And all of a sudden, everybody's got to run up to protect the passage, right?
Mm-hmm.
Don't let them fool you. Greenland has a very large deposit of rare earth minerals. All those very important minerals that go into things like solar panels and lithium batteries for electric cars. Right now, Greenland is mostly untouched. And it's untouched because the indigenous people know the creator put indigenous people as stewards of the land to care for the land. You know what you don't do with the land? You don't rape it of its resources. And
and kudos to Denmark for, sort of, how do I say this? In a more modern era, like realizing and allowing Greenland to maintain the culture that is there and stuff, like, because Denmark is very much, they're protecting the people who are there. They own the land, they own it, but I mean,
yeah, Ocean, exactly. And it's a common belief among indigenous people that when we lose our language, we lose our soul. We lost if we lose our language. And their accepted national language is, they call it Greenlandic for ease of everyone else who cannot speak an indigenous language. I'm not even going to even start to try and pronounce some of those words.
yeah.
And kudos to them, and kudos to Denmark for allowing them to practically be an autonomous country under their protection.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is how things are supposed to work here with the Indian reservations. We are supposed to have tribal sovereignty, and that's what Denmark has brilliantly displayed to the indigenous people of Greenland. So those people don't want anything to do with us. They know the history. They know what the U.S. will do. The U.S. will come in and say, oh, thank you. Here's your piece of land to sit on over here while we take all your resources. Yeah, exactly. And it's not just in Minnesota. They're doing it on the Navajo reservation here. A very famous Indian actress. They detained her for 5 hours, told her federal tribal ID, an ID issued by the federal government, was fake.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
And no one would have heard a word about it except for the fact that she is so well loved in this country. So yeah, the people now, they like to, like, this turd monkey likes to say that, they want to have a conversation. No, they don't. They've had their conversation. And they said, no, go home. We don't want anything to do with you. Even the American Bar Association came out and said about this administration. They did an article, and I forgot to copy the link down. Did I give it to you?
Which one?
If I did, the one on the from the American Bar Association on tribal sovereignty.
Oh, yeah, you did.
We're gonna have now that I've had enough watch hours that we can put links in the video description. These links will be there so you guys can look up for yourself. But even the American Bar Association came out with an article about the continued blocking of policies and consultations with the tribes that's necessary for the tribes to be sovereign.
Yeah.
And the people of Greenland see that and they're like, we don't want nothing to do with that. And it was so funny too, because there it is. Realizing the promise of tribal sovereignty. And look at, that came out November 5th. So
Mhm.
this is recent. Even our own American Bar Association.
Mhm.
Yeah, they're detaining these people even on trial, and then well, you know, that started with Botox Ice Barbie, because she accused the reservations in the Dakotas of harboring dangerous illegal immigrants.
Yeah, it's so stupid.
You know what? She's a dumbass, because
Mhm.
those reservations barely have enough to feed their own people. Now they got to harbor thousands of migrant workers. Yeah, sorry, bitch, but you need to pull your head out. That Botox is killing off your brain cells. Yeah, idiot. Indian sovereignty is something special, and it's very special to the people that hold it dear, because by protecting that sovereignty, they're protecting the last vestiges of the memories of their ancestors.
Mhm.
And we would too, except my people don't have a reservation here. Thankfully, enough of my tribe, well, the main part of the tribe I descend from, actually went to Canada. So we have 2 reservations in Canada. We have Odanak, and I can't pronounce it, it's French, Wallanack.
Yeah, that's
And they're both in Quebec. So they have quite a large number of full-bloods still there. We're here in the US, we do not. We're lucky if we have about 2,800 people left, and none of us are full-bloods down here. So, you know, Greenland's all about protecting their sovereignty, and the sovereignty that Denmark has allowed them to live under,
Mhm.
which is wonderful.
Well, I think, you know, my true belief is that a lot of this is posturing on the part of Donald Trump. Of course, he wants to get his way and the whole thing, but I I don't believe he's gonna get his way, and um, I I think there's a little bit of a game of like seeing how far can we push, you know, like how far in can we get if we push, you know? They want to see where the line is, and you know, they're pushing it, and they're gonna find out, but uh, I don't think it's gonna go anywhere in the long run,
Where's that?
especially with your midterms coming. I think like the Trump administration is going to be they're going to be slowed down a lot after the midterms, but we'll see. I don't want to, you know, jinx anything.
Yeah. I got to bring up.
I understand what Canadian Maple Tree's saying. Like the Trump administration is very much they very much want to do what they're saying they want to do. I don't think it's really going to work out the way they want. So that's my point. You
I want to bring up a wonderful Canadian that I fangirl over so much. I've actually brought him up in Harley Dad's lives. His name is Todd Maffin. He lives in British Columbia,
Yeah.
and he is my uh uh emotional support Canadian. And he actually did a video about that. He was offering himself as an emotional support Canadian, and I grabbed onto it. He did a wonderful video. It's about Venezuela. But it's mostly about dealing with a bully. And here, I'll post the
Sorry. I was trying to bring up his page here.
Well, I thought I had copied his link. Oh, not that one.
Well, I got it here.
Okay. First of all, you absolutely have to watch his video, which is pinned on the front of his if you just go to Todd Maffin, Maffin on YouTube. And he did a video called I Am the Very Model of a Modern Day Canadian. And I don't remember the song that he did the lyrics to. I believe it's a rap song. And
Okay,
it
I'm
is,
not sure I saw it.
oh, you have, oh my God, you have to.
Okay.
You must see it. He is really on point when it comes to relations between the United States and Canada.
Yeah,
And
he's a very active guy. He's a very smart cookie. So
very much so. And I would like to encourage you to subscribe to his channel and see some of his videos. Yeah, there it is. Your emotional support Canadian right there. He is so funny. I am going to be doing a show about the Somali issue.
Mhm.
And he did a wonderful video about the Somalis in Canada.
Yeah, I
And
saw
it
that. That was
is,
pretty good.
yes, it was so funny. But I highly, highly recommend this guy, especially for those in the United States who are learning that Canada isn't just like our redheaded stepchild mascot. They are an actual real country with real people living in it.
With our own identity.
With their, not only with their own identity, but they have just it's any day now decided, you know what, US, those F-35 fighter jets are cool, but I think we're gonna go with the Swedish Gripen instead.
Yeah, it looks like there's a definite announcement coming soon.
Yeah, the yeah, if they do buy any of our F-35s, it's more of a conciliatory, okay, we'll buy a few, but we're still gonna buy these because
Yeah, we're on the book for 18. That we've actually signed up. Like we've signed the contracts for 18, and we were supposed to buy more after that. Now, the debate here in Canada amongst the people's opinion is: should we honor that 18 that we've signed on to, or should we say screw that and just like ditch it and just go with the Gripen straight out? I have a feeling we'll probably honor the 18, but we won't be buying any more for that, and we'll be going with the
yes,
Gripen to build here.
Mike D got it. Tom Lair's Modern Major General. Yep, that's the song. But yeah, he is. Oh yeah, you got to watch the. I'm sorry. I am a total fangirl of Todd Maffin.
Mm-hmm.
It is, yeah. But I also forgot, if any of you are healthcare workers or know of any healthcare workers here in the US who would like to make Canada their home, he and his wife run an organization called Healthcare Infusion or Infusion Healthcare. I can't remember
I think it's Infusion Healthcare, yeah.
And what they do is they help people in the healthcare field who would like to move to Canada get to Canada and work in the Canadian healthcare system. Mm-hmm. And before anyone complains about, oh, there's long waits and oh, and this and that, let me tell you what, I had to have a life-saving surgery done. I hemorrhaged 3 times before I got that life-saving surgery. It took me 9 months to get life-saving surgery here in the United States. And I didn't go to just some podunk healthcare system either. I went to UC San Diego. I was strapped to a slab and a robot did my surgery. Okay. So it isn't just the Canadians that may have some long lines waiting for healthcare. But one thing Canadians kind of do is if you have something that is life threatening, they do an assessment. Here, I had to wait in line. My husband, who was not my husband at the time, watched me bleed out in the emergency room while we waited 4.5 hours for the doctor to casually stroll in. Yeah, the healthcare infusion movement, and they're really they've done very well, because in Saskatchewan they've actually got 30 families that no, I'm not part cyborg, but a cyborg did do my surgery. They have gotten 30 families through healthcare infusion from the US up into Canada to work in their healthcare system. Yeah, exactly, Mugger. You are always waiting. So to, for these political pundits and Congress people to say, oh, we can't do socialized medicine because socialization bad. And we couldn't, you'd be on a long waiting list and all that kind of, we already are. Tell me something I don't know or I haven't experienced in your comparison here.
Well, I mean, like, look, I'm obviously going to defend the Canadian healthcare system. It's benefited me, right? MST. There's there's no perfect healthcare system on the planet, but it's always served me here in Canada, and my family, my brother, like all the people that I've ever cared about, have all been served by it. It's things like, sure, there's waits. They're gonna be you need like a new knee. You might have to wait a while. If you have money,
it's not
you can go
life-threatening.
Exactly. But if you have money, you can go pay for it. You don't even have to go to the United States. You can go find there's doctors that you can pay to get your knee done if you have the money. But a lot of people don't. So if you have a knee problem, you're gonna have to get on a waiting list. And yeah, it might suck. It might be 18 months or something like that. But when you do get there, it's not going to cost you a cent. You're not going to go into debt. You're not going to go into debt.
You're not going to lose everything that you own.
Exactly.
To foreclosure or bankruptcy.
Exactly. And like if you have a heart attack, like there's no wait line. They get you in right away, and even though they get you in right away, once again, there's no bill for that surgery waiting for you at the end. The bills that are waiting for you are going to be the small things, like if you had an upgraded room while you were like recovering and stuff like that, right? But like you don't go into debt and lose your house because you got sick.
Well, MST, Biden made the same claim too, but what he didn't tell you is only on 3 medications.
Yeah, right.
See,
here in Canada, once again,
this is where the Democrats and the Republicans are not. The only difference between the Democrats and the Republicans when it comes to healthcare is when the Republicans are asked, well, what do you have as a replacement for this? They don't have one. All they'll tell you is they don't like the one that the Democrats have. Yeah. Exactly. And as MST brought up, no healthcare system is perfect. No system is perfect.
Exactly.
Okay. That's why the capitalists, the oligarchs of this country are so protective of capitalism, because they make money off of it. Well, they not only do we spend the money that they get, but they also steal the tax dollars that we're forking out too. And that's why, countries like Denmark, Sweden, Scandinavian countries realized they wanted a more socialist approach, but they also knew full-on socialism was ripe to get destroyed. Hence being turned into communism or doing what Hitler did. So they went democratic socialism. They have it's more strongly socialist with a lot of capitalism involved. And guess what? They have more millionaires. Okay, so their tax structure, I think, is 52% or something like that everyone pays. Not just special people, not just their middle class. Everyone pays it.
Yeah.
But they also get health care, higher education, all sorts of other things for that money.
You see the way
Guess what? Even at that huge tax rate, they have more millionaires in that country than we do here. So anybody trying to do the snow job of, socialism bad, socialism, nah. If capitalism was all it was cut out to be, then we wouldn't have socialist programs like libraries, fire departments, police departments, and other things. Our military.
Yeah, the U.S. military.
Because capitalism wasn't holding the bag on those things, so they became socialist programs. We don't seem to have a problem with those. So be careful when the government tells you something or someone is the boogeyman, because chances are the only reason they're a boogeyman to them is they'll cut into their profits. So Canada is going to become a big boogeyman. And guess what? If Trump was successful, I think the whole world is going to be against it, but Trump doesn't care. If he got his mitts on Greenland, that is a huge trade route that he would control. That our government would control.
Well,
it isn't just about national security, because guess what else is up there? There are millions, a huge area ripe to be drilled.
Yeah, there's $900 billion worth of resources just in the area that Canada claims as its own, and that's just the passage area that Canada says is ours, right? And so since we have got our new Prime Minister Mark Carney, he's created an initiative. So we're building a railway up to the north, and we're like upgrading a port up there, and we've bought 2 big icebreakers, brand new whoop-de-doo zinger icebreakers. And so the idea is that our presence is going to be like there all the time now. So it's not going to be the game that it was years ago when, the US could just, drive a submarine through their surface and, go through unhindered. Now we're going to have a presence. And we've made a big deal with South Korea to buy missile defense systems that we plan on setting up all across the north. So, we're kind of putting our stamp on it now because we can see what's happening, right? So, yeah.
Yeah, we've had troops up there since World War II.
Yeah,
because Greenland was having bases and sea ops around Greenland was necessary for our European maneuvers.
Yeah, the Cold War and all of it. Yeah,
the Cold War, absolutely. So it's not like we don't have a presence there. It's just that if it was just about national security, dual Air Force Base. If it was just about national security, then that's what it would be. Not about this goblin that wants to go in and help the indigenous with their resources. You mean help himself to their resources.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Space Forces, they have a space base up there.
Yeah.
So it's not like we're not doing anything. We don't have a military presence up there. It was truly only about national security. Yeah, and Denmark has been an ally of ours for quite a while. But
Denmark has no problem with you guys being there. They want to work out deals with the United States. What they're saying is, no, we're not selling you the land, you know?
Yeah, and the people of Greenland don't want anything to do with the U.S. That should be it right there. It should be done. But Trump said he's either going to take it the easy way or the hard way. You know, how do you put a spin on that other than what he said? There's no other way to explain that. Now, of course, his pundits and his professional spin doctor troll Carolyn Levitt will figure out a way to do it.
Yeah.
I tell you what, that gal, she knows how to lie. She is so good at it, and she is fast.
Yep.
You know, this is the same gal that on one hand will sit there and tell you how horrible and terrible the Mexicans are, and then gets caught eating in a Mexican restaurant. But to her credit, the type of restaurant she was eating in isn't really a Mexican restaurant. It's Americanized.
Yeah.
So I guess that doesn't count. No, Trump can't be trusted. He can't. You know what? The only thing you can trust is that when he says he's going to go and try and grab something and steal it, he probably will try. That's what you can trust.
Yeah, he's going to try.
He abducted a world leader. And about the only good thing, if you can call it that, was how well all these various branches of the military and special forces worked together to kidnap the guy and his wife.
Teamwork.
Okay, great teamwork, guys. The rest of the world hates us now. And how many parts of the Geneva Convention did you break? How much international law did we break to do this? And now we have shown the world, the rules, rules for thee, but not for me. I don't know, man. I've had moose sausage, and that was pretty damn good.
Yeah, don't insult our poutine, goddammit, eh?
I like poutine.
Yeah, no, he's not wrong. I love Mexican American cuisine. I love Southern cuisine. There's so much American stuff I love. American cuisine is still kind of all culturally appropriated anyways. So
yeah. Yeah, American exceptionalism is a joke to me. Yeah. I mean, are there things that we're good at? Absolutely. But to take it to the extreme that we have to be arrogant about it.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. But don't force them to follow it.
Yeah, exactly. When
country.
Yeah, when your enemy breaks the Geneva Conventions, you'll be pointing fingers and using the Geneva Conventions, and citing them. But, when you do it, whatever, we're allowed.
Yeah,
we can veto everything.
Oh crap, what was that called? When we were pulling the Nazis up for the tribunal, where was that? I forgot the name of it.
The Hague?
Yeah. I don't see now. Nobody's gonna do anything because they're gonna grumble. They're gonna come. Yeah, Nuremberg.
Nuremberg. Yeah, sorry.
Mac, you're here. Oh, I'm so glad. Yep, Nuremberg. Nobody's gonna do anything because in order to do it, they're gonna take a lot of countries say it, the most powerful man on the planet, and put him before a tribunal. Yeah, you should. No country should be above the law, including the United States president. But somehow, because our Supreme Court has been usurped by idiots, we're in a position where that happens. And it's so funny because I look on social media. I never thought I would. I see when Denmark said that they were going to defend Greenland, and they started calling up forces and moving stuff and things like that. I couldn't believe how many people were commenting on social media that they would love it if Denmark came. And yes, the Geneva suggestions, exactly. You're right. Yeah, how come Netanyahu hasn't been kidnapped and put on trial?
Yeah, it won't happen.
Yeah. I'm sorry, but I think Iran and well, of course, Hamas, but I do not support any terrorist organization, and that includes the terrorist organizations of Israel and the United States. Okay, let me make that abundantly clear. I don't care who it is. If it's a terrorist organization, I don't like you. But both Hamas and Iran showed how vulnerable Israel can be with their basic pot shots.
I like to make the the distinction again, just like I do with America. I like the difference between the people and the government. And there are a lot of absolutely wonderful people Persian people in Iran who want nothing to do with their government and what their government does. But yeah, Iran and its government is a terrorist organization for sure.
I look at a lot of countries the same way as Nazi Germany. Their citizens believed the rhetoric and fell into line. And when it came to the concentration camps, most of them didn't know or didn't care. Because they fell in with the propaganda. And we're doing it here in this country too.
Absolutely.
But to see the comments in social media that people would not be against Denmark taking over.
Yeah.
I got a real kick out of it.
Yeah, it's funny.
Most of my European ancestry is Denmark. So, I'm not going to say anything about it, but I know it won't happen, but I found a lot of joy in that.
Yeah.
Because people are beginning to recognize, because, oh my God, Denmark's a socialist country. They're bad, right? They are not a socialist country. They're democratic socialist. So there's a huge difference there.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to entirely shit on Venezuela either. They were more strongly socialist, definitely. And I cannot say for certain whether or not taking Maduro was a good or bad thing. That's up for those people to decide. Not the oil companies that Trump opened the door to come in.
Yeah,
by the way,
they don't even want in.
Right. The same, hopefully not the same. Hopefully if they do go in, the same thing doesn't end up happening that happened in South America.
Yeah.
Because Texaco poisoned millions of acres of land with their just destruction and disposal of their crap while they were drilling for oil.
Yeah.
And the people of Greenland see that going on, and they don't want any part of it. They don't want it off their shores. They don't want it on their land. You know what, Tree? That is true. They have stated that a few times, but just wait. Greed has a way of solving problems for people.
Yeah, that's true.
Because part of those suggestions were that the countries agreed that if you basically beat another country, you don't go in and take it over. You assist them into getting back on their feet so that they can govern themselves. But that's not been implied here. If they were removing Maduro because they felt he was such a horrible person and all the, drugs, which has now been proven a lie and all that, how come they installed his vice president?
Yeah.
Hi! His vice president's the same example. Well, but Trump also talked smack about Elon Musk, and Elon gets to show up for state dinners once in a while. See, just watch. You'll yeah. Elon was there. What was it, last month for some state dinner? So those rich people, those ultra rich people, they hang out together. They're all friends. Elon only was involved in our government long enough to dismantle the very committees and organizations that were investigating his shenanigans. Once those were dismantled, he was like, I could bounce. Doge didn't save anything near the amount of money he claimed. But everybody thinks he's a good manager. No, Elon Musk is a horrible manager. What he is good at is hiring the talent that is good at doing it.
Yeah.
Elon himself can't manage crap. He knows how to bully people. That's why his people don't last very long. They work for him long enough, and as soon as the job is done, and he has had them set it up so he doesn't have to do anything, boom, they're gone.
Spartan.
Spartan, hi. Yeah, so I really feel for the people of Greenland, especially because I have a fair amount of cultural trauma that I carry with me, and those people are trying to avoid it. And I'm hoping, oh God, I'm starting to get emotional here. I'm hoping that I don't watch a modern day version of what happened to our people here.
Yeah, for sure.
In the Americas, from Nunavut all the way down to the tip of South America.
Yep.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did, Mike.
You can't escape it.
That's right.
I had nothing to do with it, Spartan.
So I figured it out. It is a personal thing for me, all this talk about Greenland.
Yeah.
It is I don't want it to happen, but knowing the greed of this country, it's like I hope they can figure out ways to minimize the damage. Because as long as we have this man, this president, the activity in that direction is going to be relentless. Yeah, Ty, it is. Excuse me, I'm wiping my eyes here, but
I'll be honest, it sounds crazy in the world that we're living in and what we're seeing, but I have a bit of optimism. I really do. I really don't think he's going to be able to achieve this pipe dream that he wants to achieve. I think it's going to get stalled, and it's just not going to happen. But that's just an opinion, but I have optimism about it. So we'll see.
Yeah. And MST brings up a good point too. Right before the abduction of Maduro, or right after the abduction of Maduro, I forgot what day it was now, was the deadline to release the rest of the Epstein files. Of course, that was not adhered to.
Yep.
There are many people who will say that the Epstein files themselves are a distraction. And yeah, they have become one. But the thing is, this country elected a 32-time felon who protects pedophiles.
Yep.
PDFs. That's the kind of person. Oh, and on top of that, a serial philanderer who had affairs on every one of his wives. And his first, he seems to enjoy immigrants himself. His first wife was not a citizen of this country. His first set of children were anchor babies. And Melania somehow got a visa that was reserved for scientists and other people of national importance. What did she contribute to this country that was so important to the nation that she had to have that kind of visa? I mean, yeah, she's hot, okay, but we got a lot of hot women here. And me too, if you like women that look like the Michelin Tire Man. So don't let the propaganda of this country fool you. People of Canada, if anyone from Greenland is listening, yeah, that is true, Mac. Truman did try. Yeah, Greenland is an old idea, but
for sure.
and think about it. It's only 1,200 miles from Maine, so it's not that far. Oh, that's okay. Thank you, Tree. Damn. Eastern European pole dancing techniques. Okay. That is could be of importance, because I fully support our exotic dancers, and if she brought new techniques to them so they can earn more money, go for it, girls and guys, and the guys too. Yeah, she did. Melania did know Epstein before Trump.
She certainly did.
So I am glad to hear these other countries, Denmark, Canada, working up their, re-going over their defense. And even, hey, Spider Dog, this is one you could talk about because I don't know that much about it. Canada is considering some sort of citizen brigade or something like that.
I haven't really looked into it much, but I know that the Canadian Defense has been talking about just the idea of setting up the talk of Canadian citizens being able to what's the word I'm looking for? Be enacted. Is that the right word? If there was a need for people to sort of stand up to some outside threat in the country.
Hey, you know what other country was doing that?
Who's that?
Venezuela.
Oh, shit. You know who's another country that's been doing that for a long time? Switzerland.
Switzerland, yeah. And Switzerland, they have guns.
Yeah, exactly.
Those
And we have guns
people.
too.
Yeah, but they cut you guys off quite a bit after a 22.
There we go. Yeah, militias. They were using a word. I think they were saying like I think it was brigades or something like that.
To include militias. And that's what part of our Constitution was.
Yeah, exactly.
Spartan, oh my God.
Yes, our hockey sticks are, I tell you, they're like lethal when we get our hands on them.
Yes. And I love it too. I'm a hockey
chainsaws,
stick.
Axes. We have axes too.
Beer bottles. But you're too nice.
To a point.
Well, Ocean, I don't know about Canada's immigration policy, but I do know that it is better than here. Can you link that one here, let me see if link that one video about the immigrants that Todd Maffin did? Oh my goodness. This video is so good.
Do you mean about the Somali ones?
Yes.
Okay, I can find it. Just give me a second.
Yeah, oh my goodness. This video is all about the Somali immigrants in Canada and what the hell they're doing in Canada. It was great.
Just give me a second here. I'm looking. I can't. Sorry for the dead air, everybody. I'm just looking. I think Double Ends is looking too.
Actually, I was looking at something else because, a Tree, don't forget, we'd have to teach them what the power play is too.
It should be. It just came out. It should be like right here. I don't know why it's not.
I think it's in the shorts, or is it?
Oh, was it a short? Okay, I'm not looking at the shorts.
Yeah, I think it was a short.
These damn immigrants? Is that the one that was called?
Yes, that's the one. These damn immigrants.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. You got this. It's so fun. I love this guy. He also has a program that he started, and he does these talks, and I'm gonna try and it's called Relentless Decency, and that people, he does these motivational speeches or whatever. It's called Relentless Decency, and that's the biggest problem that he has with United States is our lack of decency.
Mm-hmm.
And I agree with that because we try to treat Canada and other countries like patting on the head and tell, oh, that's a nice country, now go sit in your corner. And we can't do that. So
shouldn't do that.
Yeah, our supreme benevolent leader, Donald Trump.
You want to watch this?
I hope you. Yeah, we'll play it. Watch this, and if he strikes us, we'll cut it out.
I don't think we will.
I'm not monetized, and we're going to provide the link too because I love this guy.
Yeah,
absolutely
totally.
love him. Yeah, let's watch it.
Leader Chairman Trump has issues with the Somali people, and you know what? I don't blame him. They're responsible for a lot up here in Canada too. They started showing up in the 90s with nothing, and then instead of staying quietly desperate like good immigrants should do, they started opening businesses, restaurants, trucking companies. Who gave these people the right to just walk in and start paying taxes? Somali people keep opening companies up left, right, and center, tech startups and import-export firms and transportation companies. This guy, Khalid Hashi, built a health tech company in Alberta focused on maternal and child health. His company took from this country awards, international recognition. Somali kids end up going to colleges and universities at much higher rates than our people, flooding this country with engineers and teachers and nurses and professionals. It's completely inconsiderate. They're starting to infiltrate the media here too. One of them founded Integration TV and spent years telling positive stories about Somali life. That makes it much harder for people to stereotype. The whole thing was so disturbing that Ontario named a high school after her. And they stick their nose everywhere, building community institutions like settlement agencies and youth programs, English classes, job training. In Ottawa, Somali organizations raise money for Syrian refugees, former refugees helping new refugees. What the hell is even that? Toronto's now getting a 100,000 square foot Somali center for culture and recreation. It's going to have sports gyms and art spaces and employment services, and they're going to let everyone use it, even the white people. Listen, if Somali Canadians keep destroying our country this way, we are going to have to admit the worst possible truth. They're doing exactly what we said we wanted immigrants to do.
Yes. Subscribe
There you
to
go.
his Far and Wide News. Subscribe to his channel. This guy is amazing. He is the epitome of a humanitarian.
And I want to say, just obviously what happened in Minnesota, what's going on there with the thing, there was some definite fuckery going on and stuff like that. Nobody here is saying like, that was good or, whatever. It needs to be looked into and it needs to be figured out what happened. But the demonization of a whole people because of one situation that happened someplace is it just gets out of hand, and it sucks.
Well, Todd Maffin did a video about that too. And he pointed out, and he was specifically talking about Minneapolis.
Mm-hmm.
But he also brought up all the healthcare fraud that had healthcare and other fraud that had been committed in this country by people in dominant culture who had been convicted of crimes, but Trump pardoned that person or this person,
exactly.
Here, if you are not of an immigrant status or ethnicity, you're thrown in jail. But if you're of the approved ethnicity, you get pardoned. And that's
white collar crime.
They talk about how all these Somalis are committing all this fraud and everything, but then when I mention, what about this person? What about, I never heard of that. Well, it's because that person was white and was pardoned by Trump. And it isn't just Trump. This has gone on.
Yeah, it's white collar crime.
Other administrations too. Fraud is nothing new in this country. If this country knows anything, it is fraud and how to make a profit off of it.
Yeah.
But if you're from, if you're not a citizen of this country, you're competition, and we're going to eliminate you somehow. So, but anyway, there you go. I absolutely fangirl over Todd Maffin. He is very decent. Definitely watch his modern day Canadian video. Can we complain about the Janny setting messages to top? I wish we could, but YouTube won't let me. It's a thing. Yes, exactly, Ty. How despicable. So, anyway, the last thing I have really to say about this, so that everyone could go back to their families and their weekends, is I know on YouTube we are not allowed to do a call to action. So I am not doing a call to action. But Spider Dog, you forgot to
Oh,
put yours out too.
I know. Well, let's wait. You don't have to do a call to action. Like this
We're not.
isn't. You're allowed to
Look,
tell people to
there's
go.
a couple of links down here, and
Yeah.
these are the links to your Senate and your House of Representatives.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
if you feel like you have something to say, feel free to do so.
Yeah, it's your right.
It's your right, and also too, there's two right now. The Democrats are, I think it's the House. The Democrats are one seat away from having a majority in, I think, the House. I'm pretty sure it was a House. And they have two special elections coming up. And
Mhm.
unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you're looking at it, they are in two Republican strongholds, one being Texas and the other in Florida. So those elections coming up, only one needs to win to flip the House to a one seat majority before the midterms. I'm not holding my breath on the midterms because there is a lot of hate and discontent towards our elected officials anyway, and for good reason.
Yep.
So every time somebody says, it's going to be a blue wave, it doesn't happen. It just plows over like a flaccid wiener. And the same thing with, it's going to be a red wave. We're going to take it. And then,
Yeah.
they gained a few seats, but it wasn't the big wave that they were expecting. People are just so tired.
And like,
Actually, MST, I do believe something about that hit the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court said that he can't do that. Now, if you're talking about some new creative way that his flunkies have figured out, I don't know about that. But I know originally when he was talking about that, the court said, "Nah, you can't do that, buddy."
yeah. Can I just say that,
Yeah.
you know,
Highlight Mugger, please.
trying to flip the House to Democrats and saying this and showing, talking to people about it. It's not so much about like, go support the Democrats because to support them. It's flipping the House is going to at least put a barrier in front of Trump that makes it a little bit harder for him. And that's the only as an outsider looking in, that's the only reason why I would say go try to flip the House. It's just to make Trump's administration have a something that they have to jump over that's not so easy. That's my own
Jedi.
thing.
Well, also too, now I forgot. Damn it, Mugger. Democrats are only good for one thing: snatching defeat from the jaws of victory. So perfect, absolutely perfect.
It's time and time again.
I'm sorry, but in my opinion, the Democrats are no different than the Republicans.
For sure,
they just use different verbiage. But the one thing that both sides are afraid of is you will not vote for them.
Yeah.
So if they're afraid of you not voting for them, and also if enough people, I'm not, doing that thing, make it clear that they will work to remove them from office if they don't hold up their end, they're afraid of that too. Not as much, but if the voices are loud enough, but people gotta, care. More than just being angry and talking about it on the internet. So anyway, because they've been too busy drinking and supplying the Kool-Aid. Our propaganda is amazing.
It is. It's pretty good.
It's been very effective.
Well, when you have trillions of dollars going to the Pentagon, I mean, and
he wants to
better
up
be
it
good.
more. He wants to up it some more. So
for sure, for
sure. All of that money. We have so many people in despair here.
Mm-hmm.
so many people in despair that taking that money that he wants to up the defense budget for this year. How many millions of citizens in this country? You know, America First, right?
Mhm.
How many millions of people that could help? Hell, just adjusting the minimum wage. You know, for all the jobs that we have lost through the free trade agreement, and to now AI, first robotics and now AI. We have to replace that with something. Yeah, Ocean, I agree. I do agree with that because
I agree with it too.
people are tired of all these wars. You know, like I said, the talk of America First. Yeah, America First is not trying to buy Greenland or trying to threaten Canada because we want their oil and their resources too. And they have every right to be concerned about that, especially after we abducted the leader of another country. Yeah, no other policy position. Exactly. I'm sorry, but Kamala was worthless.
Oh yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
she
that's
just
true.
bought and
We
paid for as well.
Well, she was a cop. I mean, even the Supreme Court of California ordered her. I can't remember exactly what it was, but something about the prisoners ordered her. Oh, to release nonviolent prisoners. Ones for that, you know, got caught smoking pot or had more than an ounce of weed on them.
Yeah.
She ordered her to do it, and she wouldn't do it. She laughed at him. Why is it? What is it about this country that we have the most incarcerated people in the world?
It's wild. It's
But
wild.
we're not oppressive like communist countries, right? Oh, and their parents. She jailed their parents too.
That's funny, just because you have like a broken education system all over the place, and then like jail people for truancy. It's bizarre.
Yeah, Mugger, we're gonna be cutting it short too because Spider Dog has dinner coming up, and
Yeah. You want to tell people why? You want to tell people why my buy me a coffee is up there and not
yes.
yours?
If you guys like this content, I have to tell you 90% of the work Spider Dog does it. If
Okay,
you
well,
don't mind
yeah.
kicking him a little bit, he's the one who does all these thumbs. He's the one that gets the lives up. He just asks me, what are we talking about? And give me a description. He comes up with everything. I do virtually nothing but open my fat yap.
Okay, well, I don't mind doing the
There's
work for
Jimbo.
this. I don't mind doing the work for this. The other side of it is that I've been using my StreamYards account, and Double M's has graciously, offered to pay for half of it because we're kind of both using it half and half, and that's great. I never, she's, like I said, she's gracious for offering that, and so I think if anybody wants to donate to sort of supplement that for her through my thing, that would be great as well. It all would be appreciated. Nobody is obligated to do anything. Hit the thumbs up and comment, and just being here and acting, and being in comments and the whole thing, that is awesome. So
Yep, and share too. If find some other people that we can teach how to unpropagandize and depolarize. That's the key. That's what I hope to accomplish. Yeah. Well, for Jimbo it's 69. For me it's 77 because you get 8 more.
yeah, okay.
Chitty Fairy isn't visiting me. I am the Chitty Fairy. I think my husband is no longer in the chat. My poor husband, he is very gaming oriented. So whatever he's not in here, I know he's playing a game.
That's cool.
Usually it's either Raid or Star Trek. Oh shit, what's the name? Honey, what is it? Fleet Command. That's it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Oh,
yeah.
I think he went to sleep. There's nothing coming out of there.
He
Yeah,
says he's heard everything.
Oh, he's a Star Trek Fleet Command is the game that he is playing.
Yeah, yeah.
Poor Squid never stood a chance. All right, everyone. I hope you have a beautiful week.
Yeah, thanks for coming out.
Yeah, thanks for watching. And I see nothing. I hear nothing. I'm so glad, Tree, that you came, because I definitely wanted Canada to know that there's a few Americans. There I go. I said it again. Damn it, we don't own it. There's a few people in the United States that do not want anything to do with this garbage.
Yeah, we know that. We know that.
And because I love Canada. They have, of course, I'm so bad too. When it comes to talking about hockey, I love to tell them that the Seattle Metropolitans was the first team to get Lord Stanley's Cup from them.
You can love any team you like except the Toronto Maple Leafs.
But I like the Toronto Maple Leafs.
No Toronto Maple Leafs, okay?
All right, everyone. You take care.
Okay.
Stay safe.
Yeah. Have
and
a good one.
Next,
We'll see you next
Sunday.
week. Later.